under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Coming up in the morning edition, Bahamas Power and Light says yes to dropping the ball, nurses to receive a lump sum, and let's hear from a student who has beaten the odds. Morning edition, I'm LaDawn Davis. Thanks for waking up with us. Our Independence Clue-In continues this week, so stay tuned and keep watching for those clues each day. Call out Charles Fisher at 502-3880 with the 5 clues in the correct order and win your weekend stay at Comfort Suites. We have had 2 winners so far, but before we continue with the winnings, let's see what weather is in store for us. Here's the Bank of the Bahamas weather report with Morning Edition's weatherman Basil Dean.
This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
And good morning to all. Our tower cam showing a few fair weather clouds floating around New Providence. And as we go to our satellite picture, we have a persistent upper level trough across the northwest Bahamas. And that means North Abaco, Grand Bahama, and Bimini. Well, you can expect a couple of showers and thunderstorms during the course of the day. Outside of our studios, it is partly cloudy, temperature at 80 degrees, relative humidity 85%. We have calm winds, the barometric pressure 1,019.0 millibars, that's 30.09 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning, picking up some 81s in Marsh, Abaco, Greentoll Key, and also Freeport in the Berry Islands, 82, 84 degrees in Alistown, Bimini, Harbour Island, 82, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island, Stanley Key, Kemps Bay, South Andros, Fresh Creek in Central Andros, all at 81 degrees. 81s again in San Salvador and Rum Key as we take you further south into Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island. The 81s continue. Then we start to get into some 82s in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands, Matthew, Nagua, the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast for today in the northwest and central islands, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide that will take place at 7:12 this morning, low tide at 1:14 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas, winds east to southeast 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So caution flags are up for boaters in the southeast Bahamas. And that's going to do it for your first look at weather in the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks, Basil. The Bahamas First Traffic Report is up next with Kelsey Johnson, Lyndon Smith, and the traffic team.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. We're here on Blue Hill Road. Just to the left is Carmichael Road, and we're talking about the down traffic lights. On this particular road, there are 3 down traffic lights. The one here on Blue Hill and Carmichael Road intersection, as well as the one there on Blue Hill Road and Malcolm Road intersection, and the one on Blue Hill Road and Soldier Road intersection. Also on Blue Hill Road are 2 yellow boxes, the one on Blue Hill Road and Carmichael Road, and the intersection there on Blue Hill Road and Soldier Road. Joining me this morning is Sergeant Jerron Thompson, who will tell us just how you're supposed to navigate during high peak traffic time, especially with the down power traffic lights and on the yellow boxes.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas. The yellow traffic box is just a guideline. It's just an area that you're not supposed to be in once the traffic light has changed. If you believe that you're not able to pass, even though you might have the green light, that you may block the junction, you have to remain where you are. Don't mind persons that might be blowing to you, want you to move forward. You just have to be mindful that, hey, if you cannot make it, you need to stay. Because if you're caught by the police, you will be ticketed.
Now, this particular road, there are 3 down traffic lights. The one here, like I mentioned, at Carmichael Road, the intersection there at Malcolm Road, as well as Soldier Road. So how do we work and make sure that the congestion doesn't take place on the roads here this morning?
Well, we like persons to have courtesy and have a lot of common sense. This particular junction of Blue Hill Road and Carmichael Road, Blue Hill Road is the main thoroughfare. The traffic that is traveling south, continue to see south, they don't have to stop at all to the traffic light. and that is the fact. Even when the traffic light is working, persons that are traveling south, making a right turn on the Carmichael Road, they have to come to a complete stop. They have to be mindful that they have to cross two lines of the northbound traffic on Blue Hill Road, so they have to travel with extreme caution. And persons coming out of Carmichael Road, it is the same for them. They have to make that left turn, so they have to watch the northbound traffic. If they have to come out against two lanes of traffic traveling north on Blue Hill Road. Sorry.
All right, thank you so much, Sergeant Thompson. LaDawn, like we always say, we want our early morning commuters and all of our traffic persons who are riding the streets of Nassau to drive with caution and care. Back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
Now on to our top story this morning. Bahamas Power and Light has acknowledged dropping the ball specifically to the expectations by consumers for consistent power supply. Director of Public Relations Quincy Parker says while the experience during the summer may be uncomfortable to consumers, there are some long-term goals already in motion which will help to offset the load on the dated machinery of the company. One of these goals is its ongoing strategic planning for mega developments.
Our strategic planning process is such that we are working with our partners in the Ministry of Works and the Office of the Prime Minister and other places so that we will be prepared for what is coming.
A total of 861 Bahamians with criminal records were deported from the United States over a 10-year period from 2008 to 2017. The numbers are compiled in the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's 2017 Yearbook of Immigration Statistics report. By breakdown, the report revealed that there were 82 criminal deportations in 2008, with 23 of them non-criminal. In 2009, there were 98 criminal deportations and 44 non-criminal deportations. In 2010, 86 Bahamians with criminal records were deported, while 15 with non-criminal records were deported. For the year 2011, there were 111 criminal deportations and 24 non-criminal deportations. Another 90 Bahamians with criminal records were deported in 2012, and 19 with non-criminal records were deported that year, while 80 Bahamians with criminal records were deported in 2013, and 18 with non-criminal records were deported. In 2014, there were 87 criminal deportations and 16 non-criminal deportations, while statistics for 2015 revealed 67 Bahamians with criminal records were deported and 7 Bahamians with non-criminal records were deported. For the year 2016, 85 Bahamians with criminal records were deported and 12 with non-criminal records were deported. In 2017, a total of 73 Bahamians with criminal records were deported, while 14 Bahamians without a criminal record were deported to the Bahamas. Some good news on the way. You could remember that embattled with the ministry seeking more money, the nurses rather, and better schedules. Well, good news is currently on the way for nurses. Minister of Health, Dr. the Honorable Dwayne Sands says, recently updated a ZNS News team on the progress of the lump sum payments nurses are set to receive from the government.
The nurses in the Public Hospital Authority have received their lump sum. The nurses in the Department of Public Health had not received their lump sum in June, but we have all of the approvals now, and they will be paid as quickly, as expeditiously as possible. It's regretful that we would have missed that deadline for some of the nurses, but we will make good on that commitment in very short order.
Papayas, tomatoes, avocados, homegrown pineapples, and a variety of peppers are just some of the locally grown produce reaped by Long Island descendant and farmer Winston Cartwright. Now, normally Cartwright would sell his crops at the Gladstone Road Farmers Market on Saturday, but he decided to bring his produce to the R. Bailey Park to attract more customers. Cartwright says while Bahamians love to purchase the plants, he believes we must do more to support local farmers.
We don't have the money, the finance, they'll say you farm, but when you farm and you put certain things in the ground, you can reap it. When you look, you got to dump it, bury it, then make soil again because you can't sell it. Now, like BIC and all them, horticulture, they should go in the restaurants, supply them. Don't fool with the regular mommy and dad come and to purchase stuff or leave that for the farmers. But they competing with they getting the stuff from the farmers to the family island, right? To the parking house. But then the people in Nassau, they can't sell to the parking house that they say that only for the farmers to the family island.
Visage puts the beat down for the dance moves. All of that and more when the morning edition comes right back.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with their debt consolidation loan. Give you one monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow, finally! A bank that's looking out for me. Where you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
Miss Fidelity, you ain't hear me. Where do I sign?
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
1, 2, 3, 4. When you want some entertainment, when you want some culture, want to know what's happening, grab your remote control, take a seat in your sofa, get the people of this native show, yeah man, get the people of this native show.
Watch the Pineapple Festival Thursday, July 25th at 8 p.m. and Saturday, July 27th at 7:30 p.m. on ZNS TV, Channel 11.
For the latest news and highlights in Bahamian culture, tune in to the new Junkadoo 242, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network. Radio Bahamas 1540 a.m. on 104.5 FM and TV 13. Each week, host Arlene Nash Ferguson and Darren Bastian engages listeners with some of the movers and shakers of Junkadoo and Bahamian culture. Don't miss Junkadoo 242, Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network.
Well, I watch the morning edition for sports, entertainment, news. It's the perfect time, the perfect opportunity.
Welcome back to the morning edition. Do you have the dance moves to keep up with this local band who will put you in a musical trance? Kelsey Johnson believes she does, so let's see how she does in this report.
You've heard them play hits like this, or made you bust the heel and toe to this. And if you're in the mood to groove, no matter the genre, Visage Band will have you dancing out of your shoes.
The key to the success of Visage is I've always been able to keep young people in the band, and we have a fantastic mixture of the younger generation and the older generation, blending the ideas of both generations to make sure that we keep all of the elements in the music that we perform out there. So any generation that we perform to, they'll be able to relate to the music that we're performing. And so that's why I have young people like Patrice and Dyson and Nehemiah and Benji. They can hear all of the stuff that the young people like, and they would bring that to our recording sessions, bring that to our practice sessions.
The 12 persons who make up this local band has found the perfect key, which leads their audience wanting more.
When the opportunity presented itself for me to be a part of Visage, it seemed like a really cohesive partnership.
About 5 years ago, Obi called me, told me that he wanted to know if I would still do my Bahamian music. And I said, yes, I still do them, but it's been a long time since I did them.
And if you think it's all planned, well, think again.
There's nothing being forced when we come together. When we put that music together, we know what we have to do and we go out there.
And to be honest, and be brutally honest again, many times in practice we try to practice songs with a certain structure, and we get out there and the groove hit, And you say, what we practice all this stuff for?
Transitions is the only thing you might get right as rehearsed.
You might rehearse a song and we probably can say we can do 2 verses and 2 choruses, and by the time Sean finish and Benji finish, and then the vibe hit Nehemiah, and you just mentioned Dyson with taking off his shirt. That's something totally, completely different, because by that time he got to go hang the shirt up on when Mike's stand and everything too. Randy gets out there and does her thing. So it's a lot of times, I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but a lot of times the practices are pointless, because many times when the groove hit, we really don't follow the structure that we rehearse. We just expand it based on the spontaneity going on at the time.
The Visage Band was created in 1981 by Obi Punling, a musician at heart.
Desiree Cox, a Bahamian Rhodes Scholar, she was a very, and still is, an accomplished singer. And she had a recital, and her mother asked me to play along with her pianist for the recital, Mr. Edward Cox, who passed away recently. And after having that experience, and of course I asked Sarge Hannah, who was my drummer in high school, to accompany us, so we had a little trio together. I said, you know what, this felt good. So I decided I was going to put a band together after that. So that was around August 1981. And it's just, over the years, just adapting to change. That's basically all it is.
The band is a hit and performs at various places in the country, so you might want to pop by one of the spots the next time you feel like letting your hair down. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
A graduating senior of Bahamas Academy has beaten the odds against scoliosis and is now in pursuit of higher academic studies at a top university. We sat down with Kaylee Sands to talk about her journey and future academic plans.
Former deputy head girl of Bahamas Academy's class of 2019, Kaylee Sands, is a few weeks away from pursuing her lifelong dream of becoming a physical therapist. For 16-year-old Kaylee, this academic goal did not come easy after she was diagnosed with an abnormal curvature of the spine called scoliosis, a disease the outspoken teenager says she was not born with but has to live with for the rest of her life.
June 2015 is when I started to experience some back pain, and every time that I ignored it, it got worse. So for certain periods I could have stood for like 7 minutes, and like as time progressed I only could stand for 2 minutes before the pain was like really excruciating and I needed to sit down, and it became annoying. And certain other symptoms like shortness of breath and fatigue, all those other things, and certain parts of my body started to protrude with the bones and everything.
Due to the severity of the curvature in the spine, Kaylee had to wear a back brace for 2 years, and at the time, surgery was not an option. She credits a local organization for giving her the financial support she needed to get through it.
The back brace, I described it as like being in a coffin because I couldn't move as I wanted to. I had to learn how to move things different, so I couldn't just turn around to get something. I turned my entire body around or bend completely down to pick something up. I also experienced a lot of like financial struggles with trying to treat myself with the scoliosis because it's not necessarily common to get treated for hair. My back brace had to be shipped from the States over here, so that was like really expensive. But thanks to the Physically Challenged Children Association, they were able to sponsor me in financing the brace.
The A student says even though she kept up with her appointments, staying on top of her responsibilities in the media club, volleyball, and dance were quite stressful. She says her battle with scoliosis made her realize her passion for physical therapy.
I'm going to Andrews University to study physical therapy. Right now I'm a pre-physical therapy major. And what kind of led me to that once again was the scoliosis journey. I prayed a lot about what I wanted to do and asked God to kind of guide me through that journey. Thanks to him, I was able to say this is what I want to do. Like when I went through something in scoliosis, it just touched my brain to say, okay, like I'm really interested in it.
Kaylee has been free of the back brace since January of last year and graduated with honors and a few scholarships. She plans to leave for Andrews University in August.
Opal and Keishla would be very proud of Kaylee. They were both alumnus of Bahamas
And
Academy.
your parents must be proud of you. You've been doing some very interesting stories lately. I think your calling in this world is not to be a reporter, but to help people.
Yes,
so that is in your after you finish this. That's what I think you need to do.
Thank you so much, Mr. What's coming up?
Coming up in sports, with Little League Baseball qualification World Series going on over there in Curacao and Team Bahamas. They are swinging the bat and talking about swinging. Justin Lunny swinging the tennis racket in Mexico.
All of that and more ahead in sports.
During the month of July, to help you celebrate independence, we will run an image clue in our newscast every day until July 26th. The clue will be an iconic Bahamian scene, monument, or place. The clues will run in our newscast unannounced Monday to Friday, and the first person to call 502-3880 on Friday with all 5 clues in the correct order will win a weekend stay at Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. Watch Morning Edition and win a stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island.
Good morning, everybody. Team Bahamas being represented by the Junior Baseball League of Nassau, fighting their butts at the Caribbean League World Series in Curacao. Well, after losing their opener to the host country 7-3, they have shuttled their last 2 opponents, 15-zip over Borneo and 11-zip by Antigua and Barbuda. They get into the meat of the competition today, facing Cuba at 12 noon and the Dominican Republic on Wednesday. Head coach Javier Bo.
If we happen to win the 2 of those games, which we're going to win, we would stand at roughly either first or second, which should put us in the playoff position. Once we get to that position, then we would cross over the pools and play either first or second seed in the other pool. The coaches have placed the boys into a very good position. We prepared them adequately for what they're about to see, and it's just a matter of them now playing up to their full potential.
Justin Roberts swinging his way to 2 wins Monday at the Cancun International Tennis Federation event in Mexico. First defeated Mexican Pablo Juan Luis 6-1-0, then knocked off another Mexican, Ricardo Magaya 6-1-love, and with the win advanced to main draw play on Wednesday. He'll be in doubles action today alongside Jody McGilly from Antigua and Barbuda when they face American Felix Carrier and David Fox from Great Britain. And the news also good for John Krell Jones. She's once again being named WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week. It's her 4th this season and 7th in her 3-year career. In 3 games last week, she averaged 16.7 points and 9.3 rebounds per game while shooting 47.5% from the field as the Suns snapped a 5-game losing skid and has now won their last 2. Jones earned Eastern Conference Player of the Week honors June 3rd, 10th, and 17th, becoming the first player in Connecticut Sun franchise history to receive the award in 3 consecutive weeks. She was last week named the starter for the AT&T All-Star Game, her 2nd starting nod. The Sun will be back in action Friday against the Atlanta Dream. Gladstone Road Liquor Panthers improving to 7-0 in the Bahamas Government Departmental Basketball League, played with a 91-53 beatdown of the police enforcers. Panthers clawing their way from the start to finish and got 15 from Adon Charlo, 11 apiece from Cyril Rowland, Kenwood Carey, Salathiel Dean leading the way with 16.
We just use this to practice, run our players, try to get some things done for the next team. Been all right. It's a new team. We just formed this team, so it's been all right. Wasn't too bad. We adjusted. We add some pieces. We think will help us to get over the top. We should be all right. We'll be all right. We just come to battle. We can come to war.
They run out of the gas. They start to argue amongst themselves. All they have to do is stop arguing, gather themselves, to play go back and play defense. That's all it's requiring.
And that's it for Sports Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day.
Prince Charles presented the constitutional instruments to the Prime Minister with these remarks.
What I am about to hand to the Prime Minister is the new Constitution of the Bahamas, which I am sure he will preserve and operate to to the best of his ability and to the lasting benefit and happiness of all Bahamian people.
This, then, is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, an independent nation, recognized and accepted as such by the world community.
Welcome to the best of sports world.
During the month of July, to help you celebrate independence, we will run an image clue in our newscast every day until July 26th. The clue will be an iconic Bahamian scene, monument, or place. The clues will run in our newscast unannounced Monday to Friday, and the first person to call 502-3880 on Friday with all 5 clues in the correct order will win a weekend stay at Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. Watch Morning Edition and win a stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island.
In our final look at whether that mid to upper level trough remains across the extreme northwest Bahamas, so North Abaco, Grand Bahama, and Bimini, you can anticipate 1 or 2 showers and thunderstorms during the course of the day. Elsewhere, high pressure will be in charge of our weather, and that means some moderate breezes in the central and southeastern islands, so caution flags up for you boaters in the central and southeastern Bahamas. Today we're going in for partly sunny and simply hot conditions, high temperature reaching 90 degrees. Tonight we are looking at partly cloudy with a brief shower or 2 developing late. Low temperature, they should be around 79 degrees. And your extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, a few showers into Thursday, things drying out quite nicely on the weekend for you. Those temperatures are dropping into the upper 80s on Friday, but we're going to maintain those 90s right through the 7-day period. LaDon?
Thanks a lot, Basil. That's a wrap for us today. Make sure to join us tomorrow when we continue our Independence Clue-In. Tune in and look for the clues in each Morning Edition newscast up to July 26th and be the winner of a weekend stay at Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. Call Charles Fisher on Friday morning after this newscast at 502-3880 with the answers in the correct order. I'm LaDon Davis. Have a great day, everyone.